So this is our podcast, 30, Flirty, and Trying. Do you want to talk a little bit about
What
what we're
that
doing?
is? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so here's the thing, y'all. Society really likes to paint a picture of what kind of life things you should be doing in your 30s or have done in your 30s. And that shit bums me out and it bums Mari out too. We've had conversations about it. And guess what? Like it's not that simple. Like it's tough and it requires a lot of trial and error. And guess what?
Yep.
That's what this podcast is about, the trial and error. Um,
I
and the
also
trial
think,
and just fun.
yeah, and all the fun,
Most of that, yeah.
most of fun. But yeah, I was gonna say, so like, as I've gotten older, I've realized that like life looks different for everybody because, I'm gonna just say something earth shattering here.
Do
We
it.
are all our own people.
What?
Oh, I just literally blew everybody's mind.
My mind is blown.
Oh my gosh, let's try to put it back together before it breaks again. Um, I was like pulling from Auntie M there, but
Yeah,
like also like
yeah, yeah.
a little Liza Minnelli, which kind of that
Something.
makes sense. That works.
Yeah, no, that does.
Um,
It's in the family line.
it's it right, exactly. You got where I was going with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, we're all our own people and life looks different for I think every single person. And so yeah, these standards that we were told that honestly, we don't even know if we were necessarily like directly told, maybe a few times, but like just things that are portrayed in the
Yeah, that
media
shit's sneaky. Oh
and Pinterest, honestly, and
my God.
just yeah, right. And so just stuff like that is making you think that you have to be this kind of thing. But we're all individual and we turned 30 and we realized this and we also were like, you know what? It's time to stop trying to like fit this mold and
Yeah,
it's time to like start doing the things that we've always wanted to do. Like just
yeah.
even little things.
Right. This podcast and just I think this phase in our life is about like defining the things that we want to try and like not overanalyzing it and just fucking trying it and then talking about the experience. Because one thing that I've learned in my many, many years of a long and wise life uh, has been that like I can make all sorts of expectations and assumptions about what an experience is going to be, but nothing teaches you quite like actually trying it. Like you
Yeah.
don't know what you're gonna experience until you experience it. So
I was just gonna say that word for word.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's
So
literally
we're
what
just
it
gonna be
is. Like you
trying
don't
things,
yeah, like you don't know the thing until you do the thing. And our
right?
brains can like trick us. I think that like they can think that they know the outcome of the things and it's usually like bad,
Right,
right?
right.
Like our brains can think of all the outcomes. But like you don't know until you do it. And then you figure it out and you figure out what you like, what you don't like, and maybe it leads you down a whole new path.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of times, like in my past, like I've definitely ruled things out to try because it seemed like I don't know. I'm not that adventurous, or I'm not that. I don't know. That's just not the kind of thing that I would do. But it was
Sure.
something that I wanted, and I would rule things out. Um, and
Yeah, I've
so
done that too.
yeah, and so I mentioned this on our actual first recording, but I'll mention it again because y'all won't get that first recording because it was lost. Um,
It lives on in the clouds, but
I'm
like
not salty or anything.
not in the actual cloud. It doesn't live in the
No, I
cloud because
wish
it's
it did.
lost. It lives in the actual cloud.
It lives nowhere.
Yes. Oh my God, it lives in like Black Mirror.
Ugh,
That's not a place, but it felt good. It felt
no.
like that's where it went.
Ugh, I hate it.
I know.
Um, but no, I think it was when I turned 30, like on my birthday, I wrote a little note in my phone that I look at it a lot as a reminder that my 20s was the time to learn how to talk the talk, and my 30s is the time to learn how to walk the walk. And what I think that like that might sound when you're hearing that to say that like walk the walk, like become this like image or this thing that like I am portraying to the world. And what it really is like walk the walk of becoming exactly who I want to be.
Yeah,
And
walk
just
your walk.
right, exactly. And just like decide that and like determine that through experience. So, um,
Yeah, I feel the same
yes,
way.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't remember what I was gonna say. No, but
No, it's also
it
in
was
Black Mirror.
it's also it lives in Black Mirror in the clouds, the
Yeah,
black clouds. I feel
yeah,
like everyone that's listening who watches Black Mirror is like they've never seen that show, have
yeah. No,
they?
well, I have. I just really don't hate me, y'all. I just didn't. I don't like Black Mirror. It makes my
I like
stomach upset.
I like a few episodes. There are others that make my stomach roll upset too. No, I was gonna build off of what you just said. Can you crack back for a second? Can you go back to
Yes. 20s are for talking the talk, 30s are for walking
yes,
the walk.
yes. Thank you. I got it. Thank
Okay.
you so much. You are amazing, lifesaver. Okay, so so yeah, when you were explaining all of that, I was wanting to build on that in the sense of like I struggle with I want everything to be exactly right
Right.
before I can do the thing. So like
Yeah.
I don't like as an example, like this is not true anymore, but like
Hmm.
maybe like a couple years ago, like I like didn't want to go to a yoga class until I had like out in the public until I had done enough yoga at home where I wouldn't embarrass
Yeah.
myself in the yoga
Yeah.
class. Like
Yeah.
that is so counterproductive because then you're
Yeah.
never going to do that. You need to meet yourself where you are and be okay with the fact that like you're probably not going to be perfect at something.
Right.
Um, and so that has been my struggle. So it's the same exact thing that you were saying, just like framed a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I just have to know that everything's never going to be exactly right. And that if I want
No.
to try things, I better get to trying.
Yeah, and so two points on that. First of all, that as a yoga instructor, like when I tell people that I'm a yoga instructor, that is probably the number one response is like, "Oh man, I would love to do yoga, but I'm just not flexible." I'm like, that's kind of okay, that's the point, but that's not the point, but it's part of the point. Like it's your starting point, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that we ever as maybe Western human like Westerners or as Western women or I'm not really sure where the socialization comes in there, but at least for me as an individual, that we don't really like honor our starting points.
We don't. And I think it's because we often, the ending points are celebrated so much that we don't
Right,
see all of the stuff that led up to that.
right, right.
But usually
Well,
when you ask the people that have succeeded, they're like, oh no, like I failed like 5 trillion times before I found success.
yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that reminds me of the failure resume that we were talking about the on
This
our
is my
first recording.
favorite thing. I love this. And
Yeah.
I actually want to type it up. Do you want to explain what it is real quick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Both Mari and myself had listened to this episode of what's the podcast called, Mar?
It's called Without Fail and it's on Gimlet.
Yes. They had played part of it on Reply All, which is a another Gimlet podcast that I listen to. So that's why I didn't know the name of the podcast. Um,
It's
but
okay. It's
yeah,
new. It's like super new.
okay, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were talking to this woman who makes movies, and they called her like a hit maker, and she was talking about well, two things from that really stood out to me. She was talking about how she doesn't want to see someone's was that the one where she was talking about that? Was she the person, or was it a different podcast?
No, it's exactly, you're doing
It
exactly
was
right.
her. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
I second
Her
guessed
name is
myself for a second.
Nina. Her name is Nina something.
Good job,
Okay.
good job.
Thank you.
And and she was talking about how really the best way to judge how a person is going to do at a job is not to look at their resume the way that we think of it, because our resumes are really like a list of our successes. She says that she has a copy of her own failure resume and updates it constantly because when you look at the things that people have failed on, then you know what they've actually grown from and what they've taken from it, and how they've learned. Just to list out someone's successes is really such a limited picture of, our strengths as humans, because our strengths come mostly from our failures.
Absolutely. And it doesn't show the road that you got to get to the successes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So we all should get a failure resume. We should all type one up.
Make one,
I don't know
yeah.
how well it's gonna go over, like in your actual job interview. Like maybe like don't bring it, but like
I don't know. The kind of person that I am, I'm very much like a fuck it, I'm just gonna do it kind of person. So I can
yes.
totally see myself actually bringing a failure resume into a job interview and being like, listen, this is what I believe about failure, and here's all the things that I've failed at. Like, and that this is like the truest representation of myself. So here you go.
That's when they're like on the spot. They're like, "You're hired."
But y'all, that's totally me. I'm just like a fuck it, I'm gonna do it kind of person now.
Yes,
I
you
haven't
are.
always been that way, but some may say I'm reckless. Most will probably say I'm reckless. I've been known to be reckless.
Was that a line of a like some may say I'm reckless?
No, it just came out of my mouth. I don't think
It
it's from
feels like
anything.
it should be a country song though, right? Like some may
Yes.
say I'm reckless,
Yes,
but I'm
definitely.
going my own way.
Well, now we're songwriters, so
I just heard like
again.
the biggest hit of 2019.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sing it just like that. And I was literally strumming my air
Oh,
air
I
banjo.
know. I believe you.
You felt my air banjo vibe.
No, I did fully.
So yeah, okay, so this podcast is called 30, Flirty, and Trying. I think we've already kind of circled around it a bunch, but we're 30. We've always been a little flirty.
Yeah.
And we're just ready to try the things we've always wanted to do, no matter if we suck at it or if we're great at it or if we don't really like it when we do it or we love it. It doesn't matter. We want to just let's try, let's live, let's try life. Yeah.
Yeah. So like formatting wise, it'll be that like each week, one of us chooses what we're going to try that week. And then Mari and I will both try the thing, and then we'll come back together and talk about it, talk about our experience doing it, what we learned about ourselves, what we learned about the world, what we learned about this thing. And then we'll try another thing. In the future, hopefully we'll have suggestions from you guys, on things that you'd like us to try. But Mari and I talked about this last night. We also just kind of like to muse about the world, and we both think people are fascinating, and that everyone is such an expert on their own experience, and their own experience is so vast and rich that we would love to just hear like whatever thoughts are like blowing your mind at the moment too. Like those thoughts that keep you up at night, or like those I call them high thoughts, but
yeah, like was that, or I also call them like journal worthy, like things that like I hear that I think that I'll just like jot down really quickly, because I'm like or like stuff that you like save in your notes on
exactly
on your phone, like anything like that. Also, if you guys want to try this stuff with us, do it. I already created a hashtag come along for the tried, because I love a good pun.
You do.
I have a problem. I have a
It's not a problem. It's
problem. That doesn't work.
No. No.
That was bad. Right? I'm sorry. See? Trying. Sometimes failing. I love puns. So hashtag come along for the tried, and try stuff with us, or try your own things, and go on our Instagram and tell us your stuff. Okay, so should we talk about
the first thing that we tried?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
The first thing that we tried was making a fucking podcast.
Making a gosh darn podcast. I was
you gonna make me the profane one?
No.
Huh?
Can I literally tell you what happened there? I was gonna say God damn, and then I was like, my mom wouldn't want me to say that. Okay. Take two. Making a motherfucking podcast.
Yay! The crowd went wild. They were like, she's a motherfucker!
Yeah, but like, and why was that any better? Like, why would my
I don't
mom
know.
prefer motherfucking?
I don't know.
I
I don't
don't think
know.
she would.
I'm
But
not inside
apparently,
Joe.
yeah, I'm not. And my mom's not here right now.
Yeah,
But
no,
I love her. She is the best. I love you, mom. Probably not listening, but that's okay.
no.
Yeah, we tried to make a we tried to make a podcast, and we're actually, guys, we're doing it right now.
We are.
Um,
So the process was kind of funny. Initially, Mari and I wanted to make like a scary podcast, a paranormal podcast, and we actually recorded like what, like 8 episodes.
yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
you got 8, maybe
I
like
prob-
7.
Honestly, we have so many, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like things just kept not being right. Like the first one we recorded, go ahead and tell the story about our first episode. It was when I was visiting in New York, so we were able to actually record it sitting next to each other on the bed. This
Yes.
has been, or on the couch. This has been my favorite episode that we've ever recorded simply because we were together and so the energy was like really great.
Yeah. And we can see each other and like understand
Yeah,
like
yeah.
where we are coming from.
Yeah.
Also, we were just like drinking rosé together in the summer in New
It was
York.
just great.
It was
Yes.
just super
It was
fun.
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the quick story. For the first thing, so we love creepy stuff. We listen to a lot of paranormal podcasts. So we were like, let's do that. So we were like, let's have a niche. Let's do urban legends. So we picked some urban legends and we were going to read them to each other and try to scare each other and just talk about them and all that stuff. So we did it at my apartment when Channing was there, which was amazing. And
was so great.
my lovely husband, who is literally the best man ever, don't fight me on it, anybody. Because he will then. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. He will. So anyway, so I may be biased though, like I am his wife.
It's fine.
It's okay. Okay, so anyway, so my lovely husband, he was like, I want to help you guys, like, and he had purchased like a mic and like all this stuff because he's a singer and like he does a lot of recording stuff. And so he like set it all up for us. We felt like super professional. He had the mic set up. He was like on the other end of the room, like recording on the computer.
Like we legit had a sound guy, y'all.
Yeah, like we felt so special. And so we recorded this episode and it actually went really well. And then we were so excited to listen to the audio. And then we go to listen to it. We press play, and Janine was like, "Can you turn it up? I can't hear it." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I go to hit the volume button, and it was already up at full blast. When I tell you this was it, well, can I do an impression?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounded like this. Urban legend. That was like exactly it. Like you couldn't hear anything. And
so what happened was
I think my husband accidentally didn't switch the mic input from the computer mic to the mic that he was using. And so the computer was all the way at the other end of the room. So we had been talking into this microphone and it was not even the thing that was recording.
Yeah.
And so we tried to salvage it. Your boyfriend tried. My husband tried. Various experts were called in. And by experts, I mean just like awesome friends of ours. And
are legitimately experts. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We just have really cool friends, you guys.
Yeah.
And it did not work. So we were really bummed.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, and then there's just been, there's like 7 episodes out there. So there's been a myriad of issues. There was an episode that, was just like, it didn't sound great audio wise and like was way too topical. Like it was like really, we like got really political and it was specific to what was happening in that moment. And we knew we wouldn't be releasing it for like months. So it wouldn't make sense.
Can I interject for 2 seconds? Just for some context, we talked about Brett Kavanaugh and how he
like nonstop.
There was something about like his dick in a pie. It was like a piece. It was like penis pie, and it was like it was like dick, like It is not taken up.
It's a taken up. Yeah,
It was like that. And for some reason, I think we were telling him not to bake his penis into a pie. Um,
probably,
but yeah, you
probably.
could see how this would not work to release,
No,
even
no.
now.
Right. So there was that. There were what else? What
A
else? Oh
lot
yeah,
of
and then
technical issues.
a lot of technical issues. We had we kind of kept changing also what we wanted to do. Like we had episodes where we were calling our podcast something different. We originally were going to call it Tales from My Cousin's Cat's College Roommate, or
Like something different every time. Like tales from my cousin's nephew's lizard's best friend.
right, because to kind of track the way that urban
Urban
legends get
legend.
passed down. Yeah. And then once we decided to change the name, we couldn't use those episodes anymore. And so then the podcast was called Paranormal Snacktivity, which I still think is hilarious. And Mari came up with that one.
Thank you so much. And if you guys want to use it, please feel free. Like it is
Yeah.
super good. It should go on a t-shirt. Like it should be made into like a series. I don't really know, but like Paranormal
Something. It's pretty
Snacktivity.
funny.
It's great, but it wasn't quite for us.
Just wasn't quite right. And so that brings me to the other point, like earlier when I was mentioning the 2 points that Nina Blank was talking about, the Hitmaster on that Gimlet pod. Um, the other point that she had made that really stuck with me was if no one on the project, like make something that people on the project are so passionate about. Like if no one on the project is just completely and utterly passionate about it, then don't make it. And Mari and I were both really excited about paranormal shit. Like we liked it. We thought it was creepy and fun, but neither one of us were passionate about it. But
We weren't. And it was funny. Like we're passionate about listening to that stuff.
right.
Like we love a paranormal podcast. We love true crime stuff. Like we love all that stuff. But then when it came to making it ourselves, we were like, well, this is actually like what we consume, I guess, on for ourselves, but consuming myself in it, like, I don't know, to produce my own content of it. Like I wasn't very good at that.
Yeah, and we weren't really adding anything to the covers. Like there's so many good paranormal podcasts out there. So I didn't feel like there was any need for it, Also.
Yeah, we were doing a less good job of what's already out there.
Right, exactly.
Nobody wants that.
No, but like, so we weren't like using our like talent or personalities or like desires like to the best of our ability. And so I remember a few months ago, Mari had mentioned that she wanted to start this blog called 30, Flirty, and Trying. And in my mind, I was like, holy shit, that would be such a great podcast for us to do together. And I had like the format was already in my head. And I didn't want to steal it from you. And so I just
what's
sat
mine
on it.
is yours. You are my soul sister. You know this.
I know, but I didn't want to hijack it. And so I just kept it in the back of my head for months until the other day we were talking about it. And guess what? We'd both been thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because that's how it always works, right? So I had thought about 30, Flirty, and Trying. Because I had turned 30. That's when you would think of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody hashtags, right? Like when you turn 30, it's like 30, Flirty, and Thriving. And I'm like, well,
Right. Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, sometimes.
not exactly how it looked in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I definitely like don't like live on the Upper East Side with like an entire closet like devoted to my shoes. Like that's
Right.
not it's not great
No.
what's happening. And so I was like, you know what? Like I want to be my favorite thing. Well, I have a lot of favorite things, but one of my favorite things is to just learn about other people's experiences and learn that everybody is real and everybody is kind of going through the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I love to write. And so I was like, this would be a really good blog idea. And so then I mentioned it to you and you were like, hey, like, can I collaborate? I was like, yeah, I would love that. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then you were like, that would also be a pretty good podcast. And like, I had the same thought, but then I think we were so focused on like this paranormal. we had kind of like the ball was already rolling for that. And so I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
just, because like we had already made all this planning, we kind of were like, okay, well, we'll do that maybe in a year or whatever, you know?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then, so I created a blog, but then I never like got around to posting on it. And like, and what I realized is that like I actually didn't want it to just be a blog. You know, like
Yeah.
I'd been toying around with this idea for a while. I was like, like what about like you guys come along the ride with us? Like, and it could be a YouTube channel or it could be a vlog or it could be, and then I was like, but what I really love are podcasts. And so it can be all of that, but like, you know, when you
Right.
mentioned it, like you mentioned it, and then the minute you said it, I was like, yes. And not only that though, I talked to you about this a little bit. Like I do so much better when I have somebody to collaborate with because I think that the excitement thing, like people being excited about something is like what helps me. Like I get a lot of energy from other people.
Yeah.
Um and I work off of that energy. I just like I love collaborating and I love doing cool things. And it's always nice to have somebody to do something with, right? Like even if we're not in the same place, like just to know that like we're both trying to like make a pie. Like
Right. Yeah.
like that
There's
feels so
like,
good.
there's like a camaraderie aspect and there's like an accountability aspect of some, especially if it's some sort of like life-giving thing that we want to do but like haven't done.
Yeah.
Um, it's accountability to actually like do it.
And it's something that people can like do with us if they want.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so what was this? It was it what day did this happen? It happened before Christmas Eve, like the day before Christmas Eve, I think.
Was it
I think so. It was like really
something like
close.
that?
Yeah,
It was super recent.
and like the minute like I don't even know how did it even happen. All I know is the minute that you said that it should be the thing and then I agreed.
Instead of the paranormal podcast, yeah.
Yes, I literally actually started jumping up and down in my kitchen. Like
Yeah.
actually said like and I was like, okay, like this is the excitement. Like this is the thing.
Right. Right. And like I felt in my heart like I don't know, like something incredible. Like I had just I don't know, Jason Momoa had just asked me out or something.
Oh my God. But like what if I just got goosebumps? Like, oh my God. Like I know that we're both spoken for, but it's like
We're both spoken for, but also Jason Momoa, you know what I'm
I
saying?
but like also like don't you feel like our men would kind of be like, you know what, like it's cool. Like or like also like
Oh,
can I come? Like
Cam Cam and I literally had that conversation last night. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Like what
I mean it's
did
just
did
it
he
is
want to come or like was it or was he gonna
yeah, no, he yeah. Probably either one.
okay, cool, awesome. Good to
Yeah,
know.
probably either
Jason
one. Yeah.
Momoa exception forever. But like
Forever.
there's like
But that's how I
so
felt. It
much
was like
I'm so sorry. I just can't get out of my head like when he was like doing like the Polynesian like ritual dance on the red
oh,
carpet.
oh my God.
Have you seen that video?
I don't know. Maybe? I don't think so.
Okay.
I guess it would stick out of my head. But there were some things that he did on this most recent SNL that I was like, oh Lord,
Yeah, agreed.
you
But yeah,
you are a just a beautiful specimen visually and also just like a cool dude.
yeah. All of the above. So it felt
So
like this idea felt like Jason Momoa asking both of us out on dates and our husband and
that's the
boyfriend
level
were
of
okay with it.
excitement, y'all.
That's a fucking high bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
so then we recorded and we were really excited. It was a really fucking great episode and then it's gone. Anyways, I'm not mad. It's fine. It's all part of the process.
She's like she's super mad, you guys. I don't know if you can tell. Like when she says she's not mad, it means she's mad. Yeah, it was pretty shitty. So we recorded and we had the best time and it was a great episode. And then yeah, something went wrong with our podcast app and we thought we could save it and it isn't it like I said, it lives in the clouds, but not in the right kind of not in the technological cloud.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
But and it was a bummer, but you know what? It was also like exactly what this podcast is about. Like we're trying to create
Yeah.
a podcast and here's all that's why we called it a fucking podcast because it's hard and here's all
Yeah.
the stuff that could go wrong and probably
Yeah.
will go wrong. And yeah, and so we realized we're gonna we have no content. We had already released
Yeah.
a little Instagram thing being like, we're gonna release. And
Yeah.
we had nothing to release. So here we are.
Yeah.
Take two.
Right. And we're literally kind of not literally, but we're battling against our own perfectionism as well because um we know that this is going to grow and get better as it goes. And like also right now we don't have like a entrance music and we don't have a logo quite yet, which we probably will by the time we drop the episode. But you know what I mean? Like we're just kind of letting things be fluid and that's how this whole thing is going to go. And I know that's kind of really atypical to the way that our very curated society works right now, but that's not what you can expect here. It's gonna be pretty unfiltered, even though everything that we post on Instagram has a Snapchat filter on it so far.
I promise I will post an unfiltered and wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't promise that. I promise I will not. I will post an unsnapchat filtered
Yeah,
video/photo within the next week. I make that promise right now.
great. Me
I
too.
solemnly swear that I will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've both been like sick. And so we just were like,
Yeah. So the filters were necessary.
it's the best way. Like nobody will ever know like what is actually under there. The Snapchat filters are so good.
I don't want to like offend your eyes, you know, at the very first sight of,
right, like
of me as a host. Be like, oh shit, she's snotty. Like literally. Is that what I'm dealing with here?
That girl's damp.
She's damp in her lungs, I can tell from looking at her.
What were we saying? We were saying this last night, like you're like
stamp out the damp.
No, yes, stamp out the damp, number one. But number two, like that you're the literal embodiment of like that evil little booger on the Mucinex commercial.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's not a good
I hate
look.
that guy.
You know, it's just, I hate that guy too. He's such a dick.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
Just like fucking taking up residence in your lungs. Rude.
Right? Get out of here. Nobody asked you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rude.
Super rude. So, bookers are rude. But anyway, yeah, okay, so do you want to talk a little bit more about just like what, like I feel like we kind of touched on it, but like why like the paranormal kind of stuff like just didn't work out. I think we kind of touched on it, but like I don't know, like for me, when I was doing the research for the stuff, because we were doing just anything paranormal, and it was going to be like scary, and we we're going to talk about stuff. And when I was doing the research, I didn't feel. I know work is hard. You know what I mean? Like I'm not afraid to put in hard work, but it felt extremely hard in like the sense of like I didn't want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I wanted to do the podcast, so I did it because I love you and I love the idea of us having a podcast. And I actually loved the idea of the podcast, but like for me, doing that amount of research every single week to do something that I'm just like not that passionate about, it just felt like this huge weight. And also, I'm like really easily scared.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is that I scared the shit out of you.
Listen, like, don't start a paranormal podcast if you're scared of everything.
Yeah.
I was so scared. So I was already scared, like, after doing my own research. But then after we had recorded, it was like late at night and I could not
You were alone.
sleep. I was alone. My husband's on tour and I could not sleep. It was literally, I texted you the next morning. I was like, didn't sleep a wink, was up all night. I think black eyed children were trying to get into my house. It was so like just like word to the wise, like don't start a podcast that like that you're terrified of.
Right. But I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I have to tell you though, the night after we did the first recording of 30, Flirty, and Trying, I also had a hard time sleeping, but that was because
you were so excited.
I was so excited.
Yeah, me too.
So
I was also sick.
Yeah, yes. But like that's the good kind of like not sleeping. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Well, I think that another reason was because like so Mari and I have talked about starting a podcast for years, and the reason was because when we talk with each other, like the conversations just meander in such a way that like is really fun and like tends to like we just bring up really cool stuff. It's really free and open. That's part of talking to your best friend that you've known, like that's basically family. And
Oh, you my sister
So
girl.
for real.
For real.
Uh, but like we didn't get to do that on our paranormal podcast. We were just playing a role and trying to scare each other, and this, it just wasn't real. And damn, so many things in this world are not real right now. I just didn't want to add another thing
I
for,
felt the same way. Yeah. I've said this a lot actually. So I think that the two of us are good at a lot of things, but something that we're really good at is being friends with each other.
yeah, yeah,
And so it's like just like being able to like celebrate that and celebrate female friendship and strong female friendship,
right.
um, and relationships and just like where and I think another thing, so we're really good at being friends with each other, but the other thing that we're good at
Mhm.
is just like talking truth. Like,
Like pondering aloud and like working shit
yeah,
out,
yeah,
or
and
like
like,
not even working it out, just like teasing through the fabric of our thoughts about the universe and about how things work,
or
and
just
like
about like daily shit. Like today, I'm really pissed because I put a scrunchie in my hair before showering, so I didn't have to wash my hair because I washed it yesterday. And my
wait,
scrunchie,
like an actual scrunchie, like a 1985.
yes,
Yes, nice.
yes, okay, but not nice because I didn't realize that like it had like gotten like a weird mildewy smell. And then when I got out of the shower, my hair smelled like crap. And I was like, this was exactly the opposite of what I had wanted to do here. So like we can also just like talk about stuff like that. Like not like universe shattering, but just like it really bummed me out.
Yeah,
So yeah,
shown
like
up. That
shown up.
sucks.
Yeah, exactly. But like so I think we're good about just like being honest with each other and yes, anding each other and laughing. And
Yeah,
we like to do that with other people too. We want to we try to form meaningful relationships with everybody we meet, no matter who it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
And so that's
Uh,
what I think we want to do here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, probably the first and last time that we'll talk for like an hour about this podcast, because this is the quote unquote trying thing that we did.
And
In
we've
the
been
future,
trying for quite a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So don't like expect that every time you like come to listen, we're just gonna be talking very meta. That's not the plan here. But this was our first trying. I thought that might be important to clarify. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. But in the future, we're going
yeah,
to do a little bit more of like concrete tries.
yeah. So our first concrete try was my selection. It was a surprise when I said it the first time we recorded,
Do you want me to?
but
Do you want to do it again? Like I'll reset. Like I'll pretend like I don't know what it is.
no, we're trying to be real.
Oh, okay, fine. You're just like wait. You're wasting my actor my skills that I learned on the Broadway. I don't know who
Sorry
this
for that
character is.
disgusting hack.
It's fine. But yeah. Tell us what it is. Tell me what it is.
So, our first try um is to actually commit to Ashtanga yoga uh for a week. Now, what Ashtanga yoga is, my friends, it's a really ancient form of yoga that's like the same poses every time, and it's linking breath with the poses, and it has a lot to do with like energy locks in the body. Um, but what it really is it's about devotion, it's about dedication, it's about um, getting better and learning something, not getting better, but learning something new every time you get into a pose and every time you do it, because it's the exact same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, in traditional Ashtanga, you would wake up with the sun. You would do your like hour and a half primary series before eating anything.
So long.
Yeah, it's a shit ton of vinyasas. It's very sweaty and difficult. Um, and so, with that being said, this was my, invitation to both Mari and myself. But I want our listeners, if you guys are going to try it with us, um, to meet yourself where you are with this,
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a difficult, challenging practice. Like if you, especially first thing in the fucking morning, I don't want to do anything. I want to lay in bed and scroll through Facebook. Like I'm not,
Same.
like I'm not trying to, but I will. Um,
Because we're trying.
because we're trying. Um, so meet yourself where you are. If first thing in the morning is just not realistic for you, do it sometime during the day. If like doing all of these vinyasas is not realistic for you, which it sure as fucking shit is not realistic for me right now, I'm gonna skip probably half of the vinyasas because there's a ton of them and I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then skip the vinyasas. Like meet yourself where you are and like pay attention to your self talk, y'all. Like monitor the way that you're talking to yourself and be kind. Because a lot of shame can come up when trying new things, especially something so challenging.
And we'll talk about this more uh, next week when we talk about how we've been trying, this
Yeah,
Ashtanga yoga. But because
yeah,
we had already done one podcast of this, I already started my Ashtanga journey. And so
yeah.
I'm not exactly going to go into things. It's only been one day. So,
Right,
uh,
right, right.
but I personally, there were some things that, I could do. There were some things that I could work towards. And then there were some things that like I just couldn't do yet.
Yeah,
And for those things, like I just skipped them and that's okay. You know
right,
what I mean? Like,
right.
or if like something was like really highly uncomfortable, like as in like it was just, not some positions are really good for me and then some others are just not good for like my joints or whatever. So like
Yeah,
I would meditate during those. Or I
yeah,
would just skip them or whatever, or I just sit in child's pose. It didn't really matter, but like yeah, I think with it's so funny that yoga has kind of been like a thing throughout this thing, but I think it's yoga is a good example of just how to treat yourself.
yeah,
And it's really easy. It was really easy. Even when I was watching the video, I was like, oh shit, like I can't do that. Like this sucks. Like I'm never, and like
yeah,
you feel
yeah,
yourself like spiraling out. And
yeah.
then that's,
And just kind of being a bitch to yourself.
yeah, being a real bee to myself.
Yeah,
And that's not fair. Like I should be proud that
no,
I even went to do this.
yeah, absolutely.
And I should be proud that maybe I did, 80% of it. Like that's actually
Right.
really cool. And
Yeah.
I need to be kind to myself. And so, yeah, that's what we challenge you guys to do. If you can't do something, don't do it. Just skip it. It's YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, if you want to join with us, the a nice like intro class that I found on YouTube was the 1 hour Ashtanga yoga intro class by Fight Master Yoga Videos. That's like a good intro one. Um, there is a video by the master Sri K. Patabi Joyce on YouTube, but it's not like there's no instruction. So as someone like unless you've been doing Ashtanga for years, like don't use that video because there's zero instruction. Um
Yeah, that
and
would not
if
be
you,
a good video for me.
no, and like if y'all find that that's just not working out, then try a different intro video. I know Kino Yoga has an intro to Ashtanga video out there, and she's really great with uh like presenting basics and presenting alternatives and modifications. Um so yeah, but I don't know, like all of our tries are not going to be this intense, and some of them are, and some of them are going to be simple things like various types of journaling or
Baking a
um
pie.
baking something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but I figured for our first one, starting out with a bang might be kind of fun.
absolutely. And like we're going into the new year. We're literally going into the new year with a bang.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah,
like, can I tell you how many times in my life I have tried to have an Ashtanga practice?
I believe it. It's
So,
hard.
so many times. And like, just all of the struggles. And also that's okay. I'm going to keep trying to come back to it.
It's the goal.
So here we are again
Yep.
to try and come back to it.
Girl, we're doing it.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, namaste for real, not namaste in bed.
Yeah, no. Namaste actually on my
Namaste
mat.
actually on the mat. Exactly. I love that. Do you wanna so yeah, try that along with us. If you do try it, let us know. Do you wanna give everybody our email?
Oh, yeah. So the email address, y'all, is 30flirty and trying pod at gmail.com. And that's all spelled out. Like it's not the number 30, it's spelled out THIRTY. So 30flirty, and trying pod at gmail.com. And our Instagram is the same.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram. Come along with us, tag it, or send us emails about stuff that you want us to try. Send us emails about your experiences, trying new things. Send us emails about stuff that's just blowing your mind.
Yeah.
Send us whatever you want.
Send us like cool conversations that you had with your Uber driver. I don't care. I just love life and I just love humans and I just want to hear about your life experiences, okay?
And just wait, what is it? She's like, and world peace. That's what that felt like. But also, yeah, me too. I love life. I love humans. And yeah, world peace would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's a great goal.
That's a hope.
Yes. So yeah, okay. So do this along with us if you want to. And so I was thinking that we should have. Yeah. Do you want to go first?
If you follow, yeah. If you follow us on Instagram, we're going to be posting like updates on how the trying is going. So be on the lookout for sweaty, gross videos this week.
Yeah, you're gonna love them. You're gonna love them. It's what everybody. It's what everybody wants. The sweaty, gross videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. So I was thinking we can do like a booze and yays.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Sweet.
Okay, so I think you guys get it, but boos are like boo, that sucked, or like boo you whore, but like I'm not gonna call you guys whore.
Which my boo is actually like a boo you whore thing, but I will say it in a minute.
I believe it. And then and then yays are yay! I'm glad. And it can be something like really intense or just like whatever, like something really small.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? Let's start with boos, yeah?
Yeah, so my boo is I'm sick.
Boo, you whore. Oh my god, that was
yeah, see?
That was amazing.
If y'all don't know what that's from, I'm sorry. Why haven't you watched Mean Girls before in your life?
Oh, I was gonna say we're not gonna tell you. You have to find out. Yeah. Okay. So no, you know now. It's from Mean Girls. You should go watch it.
Yeah.
What's one of my boos? I've had a few. But so one of my so a boo that I had this week, it was so sad. So I did a bunch of homemade gifts for my family for Christmas. And I was so excited about it. And I was like, this is gonna be so nice and like thoughtful. And so I handmade truffles and they were bespoke, but they were delicious. Bespoke is the word that you use, for things that all look so unique.
Wait, can I clarify for a second?
Go ahead.
I was not laughing at Mari for making handmade gifts. I was laughing because I know this story and it's funny. Continue.
Thank you. Good clarification, but also it's ridiculous. Okay, so anyway, so I made truffles. I made bespoke truffles, and I packed them really cute. And then I made spice nuts, and I packed those really cute. Like I used all like upcycled stuff, like all stuff that I had already had in the house. I was so excited about it. But my pièce de résistance, which is like what I spent most of my money on, which is what I was really excited to give my family, was I homemade limoncello. And so to homemade limoncello, you need to have obviously like lemons. So a shit ton of lemons. You got to peel them. Yeah. It's like a whole thing. And then you let them soak in alcohol. And like most of the recipes that I read were like, do it with a really high proof alcohol, like grain alcohol, like Everclear is usually the best. So I was like, okay, like I guess I'll do that, even though like I hate Everclear is like this, like Everclear.
Everclear is like undergrad nightmares.
Everclear is like how you go to the hospital. Like
yeah, no, for real. Like,
and no matter what you mix it with, like it's gonna taste like shit. But I was like, oh, but these people know because there's a million recipes and they all look great. And and I bet you the lemon like really I don't know, like I thought there was like some kind of chemistry that was gonna happen between the Everclear and the lemon that was gonna like fix it, right? So I spent all this money on Everclear and these beautiful jars and these lemons, and I have it sitting, and so I opened it up after the few days that you're supposed to open it up, after like about a week, and then I was going to combine it with the sugar, and and I kind of sniffed it and I was like, oh, like this is still pretty strong, but it's going to get fixed when I add the sugar, right? And so I go and I use the organic sugar. And so I go to add the organic sugar. Well, what they didn't tell you in the recipes is that you cannot use organic sugar, even if it's white, because it'll turn everything brown. Oh my God. So
No.
now what's supposed to be this beautiful yellow limoncello is fucking brown and
The
still
worst.
tastes like Everclear. Like if I can, okay, so it looked like poop. It was like poop meets like a little lemon, but like more like pine sol. It's like poop meets pine sol meets moonshine made by someone that should not have been making moonshine. Like that's what it tasted
Pine
like.
Sol Limoncello.
Yeah, and it was so bad, and I tasted it, and I couldn't, in good conscience, give it to people, and I spent all my money on it, and I felt really shitty. So that's a big boo.
Wait, so what did you do with it? What ended up? Is it still in your freezer?
It's still in
Or
my
did you
freezer.
dump it?
It's still in my freezer. I'll post it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely post a picture of it. Also, like next time in New York, like how long will it last, you think? Will it go bad?
It'll last forever. It is so high proof in
Will it?
alcohol. It is so high. It is like 140 proof. Like
Okay, we have to take a shot of it when we went next time I'm in
okay,
New York.
I'm gonna dump most of it, but I'll save one jar for us.
Okay.
Because you can't drink more than like a thimble, like literally, like
No, no, no. I know.
But yeah,
I know.
that's what we're gonna do.
I'm always the person to just be like, fucking, I'm gonna try it, even if it's disgusting. So,
So,
yeah, I want to
thank
try
you
it.
so much. Okay, so we're gonna I will hold you to it. I'm gonna save one
Yeah.
jar. Yeah, so that's my boo. Do you have a yay?
Um, yeah. So I think a yay for this week, has been like while I've been sick, I've been watching, The Haunting of Hill House.
Mm.
I know I'm super behind on that. It came out a while ago and I like had heard mixed reviews, but I love it and this whole like the whole family on The Haunting of Hill House, like I want to be related to all of them. They're all super cool.
Of course you do.
And they're I want to adopt them.
Can I insert something for 1 second? Danny likes to
Yeah.
like take her dog for walks in the cemetery. So like if that gives you
Oh.
any insight into why she wants to be
I
a family with the Hill House people.
I take my dog to the cemetery every single day and listen to either My Favorite Murder or Two Girls One Ghost in the cemetery, and I like there's not even a slight bit of fear. Like I'm just chilling. It's not scary. The reason I take my dog to the cemetery is because I live in a apartment and on the fourth floor, and I have a big puppy, and he needs to run around, and the dog park is far away, so there's a fenced-in historical cemetery around the corner. Why not?
I mean, why I would not do it, but I am so proud that you did and that you
Every
do.
day,
Every
rain or shine.
So like because I love puns, I cannot help myself. So your yay is also a little bit of a boo. It was so bad. It was so bad. Okay, I know.
Okay, what's your yay?
My yay. It's also a TV show. So well, you know what? No, I'm gonna, yes, no, and yes. Okay,
Yes.
so
No. Yes.
there's a few great things that I've watched recently.
Yes. No. Yes. Sorry.
Yes. I deserve that so much. So there's a few great things that I've watched recently. But the best show that I've been watching that it's only a 4-part series. It's so good, you guys. Watch it. It's called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
Ooh.
It's on Netflix, and it's Samin Nosrat. That's her name. She is just
Good job.
Thank you. She's just this like wonderful chef. The series is a Netflix like documentary type series that's based off of the cookbook that she wrote with the same name. And it is just beautiful. Like she is awesome. Like I'm getting goosebumps while literally thinking about her. Like I want to be friends with her. She's so endearing. Like she's just so warm to everybody that she meets. And she's this incredible chef, but like she's so accessible. And she
Right.
wants food and good food to be accessible to everybody. And it's just like beautifully shot. And like a couple of them are like, she goes to Italy for one of them, and like she speaks Italian, and the whole episode's in Italian. Like it's so cool that like we can do that now. Like that's okay. Like we still like. I want to consume that. Like I want to hear people talking in their language. Like the only like there's no translator.
Right.
It's just like subtitles. And then they go to Japan, and like she has a friend who's translating for her, but like they don't they don't make people speak in it. It was just it's so beautiful. And then, obviously they go to America as well. And like, it's really good. You should watch it. It'll make you want to cook everything. I'm going to read the book. I'll keep you posted on that, but yeah, do that.
Nice. See, that's one thing that I'm excited about with this podcast is because I don't, not that I can't cook, I can. It's just like, it's not something that I have spent time like becoming comfortable with. So it's such a chore. And so I don't really get I do get enjoyment from it, but like not as much as I think a lot of people do. And I know that a lot of your tries for me, like that your tries for our like weekly try is going to be like cooking or like baking or making alcohol or like,
because I love that stuff.
I know, no, that makes me really excited because like I want to become more comfortable with those things. I think that like food is, it's a necessity for life, and that's kind of how I was raised with it, is like eating is something that we have to do, so let's just get the sustenance in our body, like no flair.
Yeah.
But like it can be this whole art form, and that's a part of it that I really haven't experienced. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to do that.
You know me so well. It is definitely happening. Watch it. You should watch it too. It'll give you inspiration.
Okay, I will.
So good. Yay!
Yay!
That was our booze and yay. Should we quickly say what we have drank during this whole episode?
Oh, sure. So normally I think we will be drinking like wine or something, but but it happens to be 2:00 in the afternoon and I'm going to work later. B, I happen to be very sick, and so I am drinking yogi tea that is sore throat comfort with slices of ginger in it and honey.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
Dude, stamp the damn.
What you drinking?
What should I drink? Okay, so I am drinking Trader Joe's cold brew concentrate with Trader Joe's blueberry lavender almond milk, which is my life.
Nice.
It's so good.
Life.
Which is why I have so much life, because I have coffee running into my veins. But really though, I was telling Tori like
Lorelai Gilmore.
Yeah, so I had like a really bad stomach virus during Christmas, which sucked. But so I hadn't had coffee in a few days, because like that's like the thing, like that's how you know I'm really sick, is like if I don't have coffee, like that's how you know. So I hadn't had coffee in a few days, and so I had a cup of the cold brew yesterday, and I was talking to my husband, and I was so like excited, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I feel, when Spider-Man gets bit by the spider and it courses through his veins." I was like, "That's me, but with coffee."
Like there's electricity running through your veins.
Yes, but I'm like literally seeing like the coffee color, like going like, how his blue, like mine is brown, and like coffee beans are like pouring out of me.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, so that's a whole other visual. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah,
enjoy that.
Did we do it?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah. Guys,
so bye.
So rude. Thanks for listening. This has been 30, Flirty, and Trying with Mari and Channing.
Yeah. So try along with us. Yep, that's me.
Come along.
And we'll see you guys next week. Come along for the tride.
Oh yeah.
We hope that this is going to be a weekly podcast. That's the plan.
We're gonna try.
But I think as you guys have already determined, this is a work in progress. So if it can't happen every week, then it can't. But that's the plan, is to let it happen every week.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you next week then.
Come along for the tride. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Every week. So we'll see you next week then.